Welcome to your December calendar. When you take a look at this, you're going to notice a few different things. One is that there are no numbers attached to the exercises that are listed. And the reason is, I want you to be able to incorporate them into your day like this. Most of you have a favorite television show. So instead of, during that television show's commercial break, getting up and walking to the refrigerator, I want you to do the 3 exercises listed on your calendar. Here's how they'll work. When the first commercial break comes on, during the first commercial, do as many of the first exercise as you can. When the second commercial comes on, in the same commercial break, do the second exercise as many times as you can, or as long as you can, in the case of some of them. Third exercise, during the third commercial. There's a fourth commercial, loop back to the beginning of the exercises, and stay moving for the entire commercial break. When the show comes back on, take a seat, and then start again during the next commercial break at the top of your list. So, the other thing you're going to notice is that the calendar is a little bit busier than normal for our free fitness challenges. The reason is, during December, Americans classically work out less and eat more. They're not moving around as much, they're not as active, so what happens is people gain some weight between now and the end of the year that they resolve to take off. When that doesn't happen, because we give up on our resolutions by the end of January, we end up putting on just a little bit more each month. So by helping to keep you a little bit more active during December, I'm hoping to get you ahead of the 8 ball for most people's January 1st resolution. That being said, in order to explain this to you as quickly as possible, there are a number of safety things. Most of these exercises have been on our videos in the past. If you're uncomfortable doing something, if something hurts, shoot me a message and I'm going to give you some of the finer tips. But for today, I'm just going to show you the exercise and the progression that it will take throughout the month. Now, anytime you get to a progression that may seem a little bit hard on your joints, or may just seem a little too difficult muscularly, you can always revert to the week before and the options that were given there. So the first exercise that you're going to see is a squat. So option number 1 during that first week is going to be to sit straight back. Okay? So this is your squat. If you do it over a couch or something, you might touch your bottom down and then stand back up. So during the second week, that progresses to what we call a dynamic squat. So you're going to step to the side, step to the side. What I don't want is for you to put all your weight on one leg. The reason this is harder is because you're moving a little bit more, so it's going to get your heart rate up. The next time you see it, it's going to be a squat jump. You're going to sink down into the legs a little, out, in, out, in. The next time you see it, it will be a double squat jump, which is exactly what it sounds like. Out, in, in. All right, so that's your first exercise and the progression for the month. Your second exercise is a push-up. Now this one isn't going to progress during the month. It looks like this. Arms are wide, knees or toes. Now you might want to start here. This is easier than this. Which is easier than this? Which is easier than this? So you choose the level that's going to suit you and work that level each week. The final exercise for that first day is a hover. That's going to progress throughout the month too. Knees or toes, elbows under shoulders, this is a hover. You'll notice my butt's not up in the air. Got here. So you can go to your toes. You're going to see this progress to a dynamic hover where the knees float or they don't. That's your choice. You're going to see that progress to a plank. That progress to a plank jack. Alright, always if something's too difficult, revert back to what it looked like. The next day, you see where it says 20 minutes of cardio. I'm going to ask this of you throughout the month. That 20 minutes does not have to take place all at once, but hopefully by the end of the month it will. If you take an hour-long TV show and stand up in your living room during all of the commercial breaks and do high knees or take your stairs or just march in place with high knees, whatever it's going to take to get your heart rate up, you're going to add up to 20 minutes for the day. So while ideally the block of time you spend doing cardio will get longer and longer and build up to 20 minutes, as long as you score 20 minutes of elevated heart rate within a day, that's what I'm after. You do have a little bit of liberty. If you know you take a particular class, like on Wednesday, that's going to score you some cardio, then flop your Tuesday and Wednesday, that's just fine with me. So the next exercise progression, calf raises. Here's how they'll progress throughout the month. Lift, lower, try to go to the big toe, not to the little toe, and try not to rock back with momentum. The next progression is to keep the heels up. The next progression adds a little hop. And that's your calf raise. So we're developing the muscles in the lower leg. Your next progression for that day is a half locust. Here's the first one. Hands down. You're just going to lift the top, lower, lift, lower. The next week, I want you to do the bottom half. Lift, lower. You're going to feel this in the small of your back. That'll be really good. The third week, you're actually going to do a little bit of a snow angel. So you're going to lift, and then make your tracks in the snow, and then come back and release. Lift, and then repeat the following week. Now, if that snow angel is too much for you, feel free to just do top and bottom. Or go back to one of the previous weeks. The third exercise that day is an oblique crunch. Option 1, week 1. Here to here. Week 2, you're going to lift your legs. Week 3, legs back down. So you're going to add a knee. Week 4, full-blown bicycle. Okay, again, revert back to previous week if necessary. Static lunge. This means you're going to be still. So I want you to do 5 this leg, and then 5 on the other leg. That's going to be your static lunge. The next week, you encounter that as a dynamic lunge. It just means you're going to take turns. 1, 1, 1. The next week, and the week after, it's a scissor lunge. So instead of getting that nice, gentle step to switch, I want you to try to hop. Okay, your choice. Take it or leave it. You can always go backward. Second exercise. Tricep dips. Right here. Not going to change the whole week, the whole month. So feet under your knees is easier than this, than this, than this. And putting your feet up on something will make it even more difficult. So if you do it on the edge of your couch, feel free to put your feet up on a coffee table or something if it's not difficult enough. So that's your dip. The third exercise there is going to be toe taps. Knees start up for this. Tap toe, toe tap. So 90 degrees in the knee. What we don't want is this. Leg extension, instead of a tap down, I want you to get a kick out. Okay? So one goes out, one goes in. The third level of this, they're actually going to change places at the same time. So there's no waiting. The fourth level, you're going to get both of them at once. Now, if you kick higher, it's a little easier. The lower you go, the harder it's going to be. That's your double leg extension. Last set. Boot slap. Easy enough. Pretend like you're wearing boots, right? So you go down and you tap. Okay? So you're going to do. The next week, you're going to do a boot slap with a little hop. So slap here, a little hop. Third week, you're going to do a boot slap, but go clear to the floor. So instead of slapping your boots, tap down. Hop. Fourth week, instead of just tapping and hopping, hands down. Okay, so a modified burpee for you. Second exercise there, you're going to do a progression throughout the month. You're going to start with jabs. We're working the shoulders. Then you're going to see hooks. And then you're going to see uppercuts. So the final week of that, you're going to do jab, hook, upper, hook, upper. So that's going to be your punch sequence. That's really going to fire up the shoulders. That's the goal. And then your final exercise, it's going to be more abdominal work. We start with just a crunch, top half only, crunch, 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 to a crunch with knees up, to a V-sit, to a boat pose. Now you can hold on here if you'd like. The goal is to gain control in the abdomen. So I know the month seems really busy, but working in this progression is my way of giving you the opportunity to challenge yourself a little and gain a little ahead of the curve at the beginning of the year. So if you have questions, something's bothering you, you don't really understand what we're up to, then shoot me a message, write on the wall, whatever you need to do to get a hold of me, because other people may have the same question. So I hope you enjoy your month, that you eat wisely, and that you work out hard so that we can, again, stay ahead of the game. So congratulations on finishing November. Welcome to December.